Yes. I don't know how many times I waited an hour, only to see the agent had stopped a minute in to ask for confirmation or something else. Man, that right there is a real quote from a very frustrated developer on Reddit. And honestly, if you've been working with early AI coding assistants, you have absolutely felt that pain. I mean, we've all been there. You set up this massive refactor, walk away to grab a coffee, and come back to find your AI has been paused for 59 minutes just waiting for you to click proceed. It's literally the worst.
But hey, here is the really good news. That era, it is officially over. Today's explainer is all about the massive evolution we're seeing in 2026. We have officially moved from basic, inline autocomplete, tools that just finish your sentences, to fully autonomous coding agents. We're talking about systems that can plan, execute, debug, and review complex software completely in the background. Tools have fundamentally changed how we build software this year, and why this matters to you is pretty simple. Your fundamental role as a developer is elevating from being just a typist to becoming a true orchestrator.
Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to our explainer on the 2026 AI coding agent paradigm shift. If you've been feeling kind of overwhelmed by the sheer number of tools, updates, and benchmarks dropping every single week, well, take a breath, because you are in the exact right place. We're going to cut through all that noise together and look exactly at what the data actually says.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the shift to autonomous agents, compare the top commercial tools, look at how this scales for the enterprise, explore parallel processing with fleets, and finally, dive into building custom DevOps agents. Let's get right to it.
All right, Section 1, the 2026 AI coding shift, moving from assistants to autonomous agents.
First off, I want to relieve some anxiety you might have about picking just one perfect tool. The data shows that in 2026, most senior developers are actually using a hybrid stack to maximize productivity. It's the new standard. A highly effective and super common setup combines Cursor for daily IDE visual editing at $20 a month, Claude Code for complex, multi-file terminal tasks at another $20, and GitHub Copilot for $10 a month to maintain team-wide accessibility across different editors. And yeah, I know, that's $50 a month in subscriptions. But actually, scratch that. Think of it as the absolute cheapest, fastest junior developer team you will ever hire. You really don't have to choose just one. You just choose the right tool for the right task.
Moving on to Section 2, Clash of the Titans. We're comparing Cursor, Claude Code, and GitHub Copilot.
And this brilliantly illustrates their fundamentally different approaches. They are definitely not just copies of each other. Cursor is an AI-native IDE built on a VS Code fork, operating with a context window of around 256K tokens. Now think of tokens as the AI's short-term memory capacity, basically how much code and context it can remember at any given second. With 256K, Cursor is heavily optimized for daily visual development. Claude Code, on the other hand, is a terminal CLI agent. It doesn't even have an IDE GUI, but it boasts a massive 1 million token context window, making it the absolute powerhouse for whole code-based refactors. Then we have GitHub Copilot, a multi-IDE extension with a 64K token window, which really wins on team accessibility because it works where your developers already are, whether that's JetBrains, NeoVim, or Xcode.
If we zero in on Cursor for a second, its dominance in the IDE space is largely driven by its SuperMaven autocomplete engine. Just look at this metric, a staggering 72% acceptance rate. That means developers are accepting 7 out of 10 suggestions it makes in line. Why this matters is simple. You aren't constantly breaking your flow state to fix bad AI code. It predicts multi-line completions incredibly fast and adapts to your specific coding style. You just hit Tab and seamlessly move forward. That's exactly why it rules the daily editing workflow.
But then we look at Claude Code. So the crucial point is this number, 80.8%. That is Claude Code's SW Bench verified score. Now, SW Bench is the industry standard for measuring how well AI solves real-world, complex software engineering issues. 80.8% is literally the highest score among individual developer tools right now. When you combine that crazy capability with its 1 million token context window, meaning it can hold entire code bases in its memory all at once, Claude Code becomes totally unmatched for diving into complex, multi-file architectural problems.
All right, Section 3, Enterprise Scaling, Copilot versus Amazon Q. When you move from individual developers to massive organizations, procurement decisions require immense scale, strict compliance, and super tight security. Here, Copilot and Amazon Q take entirely contrasting architectural philosophies. GitHub Copilot gives developers transparent model choice. You can explicitly select if you want GPT-4o, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, or Gemini 1.5 Pro. This transparency is an absolute lifesaver for your compliance and legal teams, because you have an exact audit trail of which model generated what code. Amazon Q, however, uses intelligent routing via AWS Bedrock. You don't pick the model, the system routes your prompt to the best model, like Claude 3.5 or Amazon Titan, based on the task itself. It's a black box approach heavily optimized for AWS native environments.
We also see a massive difference in repository indexing. Copilot utilizes its Blackbird search engine, which indexes an incredible 115 terabytes of code across 45 million repositories. It excels at cross-repository context, which is absolutely vital if your enterprise uses a sprawling distributed microservices architecture. Amazon Q, conversely, focuses its context heavily on automatic indexing within a single workspace. It's fantastic for monoliths or isolated AWS projects, but currently lacks the documented multi-repo aggregation the Copilot offers.
Section 4. Fleets and Delegation. Maximizing parallel throughput.
So let me ask you, how do you currently tackle massive refactors? Seriously, think about it. If you have to update dependencies, modify a database schema, and rewrite your test suites all at once, feeding that whole shebang into a single AI prompt usually results in a confused model that degrades over time, hallucinates, and leaves you untangling a massive mess.
Well, the solution is the new /fleet command. When you trigger this, you aren't just talking to one agent anymore. First, a main orchestrator agent acts as your project manager. It analyzes your prompt and breaks it down into discrete subtasks. Then, and this is the absolute genius part, it spins up individual subagents to execute those tasks in parallel. Each subagent gets its own isolated context window. The agent writing tests only sees the test environment. The agent doing the schema update only sees the database. They don't get overwhelmed with irrelevant short-term memory. Finally, the orchestrator manages all the dependencies and merges the separated work perfectly back together.
But you also got to choose where this work actually happens. If you run autopilot mode, the agent executes autonomously on your local machine. It's hands-free, sure, but it completely ties up your local terminal and compute resources. Alternatively, you can use the /delegate command. This hands the task off to a remote cloud agent. It's a true fire-and-forget workflow. The cloud agent creates a branch, does the work in the background, and simply opens a pull request for you to review whenever you're ready. You can literally trigger the delegate command, shut your laptop, go for a walk outside for the first time in days, and come back to a finished pull request. The work just never stops.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 5, Custom DevOps Agents, building with the Copilot SDK.
Okay, this brings us to the absolute most advanced and customizable evolution we've seen. To really understand custom agents, you first need to understand MCP, or the Model Context Protocol. MCP is a standardized bridge. It's the real game changer that allows an AI agent to securely step outside of your code editor and interact with the real world, connecting to your external databases, cloud providers, and operational APIs.
Because of MCP and the Copilot SDK, developers are now building highly specialized agents for their own infrastructure. Imagine this scenario. It's 2 a.m. and your crucial CI/CD pipeline suddenly fails. Instead of waking up an exhausted engineer, an autonomous SRE agent triggers automatically. It fetches the logs via the GitHub MCP, checks Datadog for system health, searches the web for known errors, and either automatically applies a fix or drafts a detailed incident report in PagerDuty before you even open your eyes. I mean, that is incredible peace of mind. We're also seeing tools like RepoCheck AI, which autonomously scans your repos for governance and security compliance, immediately opening PRs to fix any violations it finds.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the architectural pattern making all of this possible, known as the Ralph loop. Remember our explanation of tokens and context windows as the AI's short-term memory? Well, when you have an agent doing a massive amount of infrastructure work, that short-term memory can fill up with garbage very quickly. The Ralph loop solves this by forcing the agent to iterate tasks in fresh, isolated sessions. It reads the current state from a physical file on your disk, does one specific task, writes the results back to the disk, and completely shuts down. Then a brand new, clean session starts for the next task. This shared disk state completely prevents context degradation during massive infrastructure updates.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? From hybrid IDE setups to intelligent routing and parallel agent fleets. The 2026 landscape is clearly no longer about tools that just type faster for you. It's about systems that can operate entirely on their own. So, I want to leave you with this inspiring thought to ponder. If your AI can now plan its own architecture,
execute the implementation, and review its own code for security, what are you going to build next? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.